Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Just wanted to tape a quick intro to this video. Just wanted to kind of preface this by saying that the intention when I started this video out was not to make a couple different kinds of keto or low carb oatmeal, but it kind of ended up turning out that way because after I made the first oatmeal, I was just on a quest to find an oatmeal that had a better texture. So spoiler alert, I ended up liking the oatmeal that I made second better than the first. So I just wanted to let you guys know that I filmed the video yesterday and I was not able to make the intro to the video. Life kind of got in the way, so I am filming this today, but I just kind of wanted to let you know that the original video was not meant to be a oatmeal face-off per se, but it kind of ended up being that way. So hope you guys enjoy the video. You'll have to let me know if you make the oatmeal and if you like it. And as always, I thank you for your support. And if I do not see you again in the video, I hope that you have a great day. All right, thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're starting out in the kitchen and I am just going to show you some ingredients that I have that I'm going to use to put together a low carb keto oatmeal. I will say if there's one thing that I truly miss with being on a low carb lifestyle is just oatmeal. Warm, hearty oatmeal that you would have like for breakfast or just a snack. Especially on these cold winter mornings, I really feel like that would be something that would be good. Now I have made keto oatmeal before with just like the shelled hemp hearts and a few other things. And I have to be honest with you, the texture of it was not my favorite. So I have discovered a couple other, keto, low carb oatmeal recipes, and we're going to go ahead and put it together today. Now the recipe that I have is not my own. I just want to disclose that, but I'm just kind of taking a little bit of what I have seen online and putting it together and making it my own because some of these items we're putting in here were not necessarily in the recipe. So we'll just start out. What we're going to do is just measure out some ingredients and put it into a glass jar, and then we can have that for the week and make oatmeal as I would like to. So just keep those ingredients together in a jar. I'll keep it in the fridge, and then when I want to make the oatmeal, I can add some almond milk and make oatmeal. So I have some almond flour here. We're going to use that. I have Swerve. It's a brown sugar replacement. This is something that will go in the oatmeal, but then also something that you can put on top of the oatmeal when it's completed. Shelled hemp seeds. Again, like this is a lot of ingredients, so if you do not have all of these ingredients, don't be, how do I want to say it? If you do not have all of these ingredients, don't be intimidated because you do not need to have every single one of these ingredients. I really do feel like some of these ingredients without it, it would be fine too. I just so happen to have all the ingredients on hand at this time. Chia seeds, ground flaxseed, psyllium husk, which honestly, I hear this talked about a lot with low carb ketogenic lifestyle, but I've never used it, so we're going to add a little bit of that into our oatmeal as well. The recipe does not call for that, the particular one I'm following. Some ground cinnamon, and then some almond milk. And then as far as toppings go, I have some unsalted dry toasted sliced almonds that we're going to use. Possibly put a little bit of almond butter on top as well, or just plain peanut butter would be good. I happen to have just a tiny bit of this keto honey on hand that I had picked up from Chalk Zero. They had it on sale around the holiday, and I have really flown through this. So I'm going to use a little bit of that on top of the oatmeal as well, and then some fresh strawberries. Strawberries and blueberries are both really good options for a low-carb source of fruit. So I know if you're following a low-carb or ketogenic lifestyle, fruit is probably not something that you're eating much of. So, but strawberries are good, and also blueberries. Really any kind of berry is going to be a low-carb option for you with a, low-carb lifestyle. So Okay, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so we're just going to use a mason jar that I have and measure all of the ingredients out into this and use this throughout the week to make our oatmeal. We won't use all of the ingredients that are in here at once, so we'll go ahead and start measuring out our ingredients. And 2/3 cups of hemp hearts are what we're going to measure out first. So we have our 2/3 cup of hemp hearts. Try to get this in here without making too much of a mess. Then we're going to move on to our almond flour. We need 2/3 cups of almond flour. It's about 2/3 of a cup. Go ahead and get that in there. And yes, I did just make a mess. The recipe called for 2 tablespoons of the Swerve brown sugar replacement, or whatever low carb brown sugar replacement you have. It says 2 tablespoons or more depending on how sweet you want it. So I put 3, and then you could also take and put more on top of your oatmeal once it's done cooking to sweeten that up a bit. So the last ingredient that we're going to add here is our cinnamon. I'm probably going to go with 2 teaspoons. I really like cinnamon, so we're going to go ahead with 2 teaspoons of cinnamon. All right, so the last step really is just to put the lid back on our jar. We have all of our ingredients in here, and go ahead and just shake. And once you have it all shaken up really good, you can go ahead and get it onto the stove. We're going to add a little bit of almond milk. I have unsweetened almond milk that we're going to add. It's unsweetened vanilla, and it's 30 calories per serving and less than a carb. So we're going to add that. I've seen recipes where they call for heavy cream, so if you want to add something like that, or half and half, a little bit of water, totally up to you. So let's go ahead and get this onto the stove. Okay, we're going to go ahead and warm our oatmeal through, and the recipe actually calls for a half of a cup of the dry ingredients to a cup of almond milk. I am going to double this recipe today. It did mention something about breaking up some of the brown sugar in the recipe if it tends to get a bit clumpy, so I can see that it got a little bit clumpy there, but that's okay. You can do that for future reference if you make it. We're going to make like almost a cup of the dry ingredients. Here's 1 cup, and then 2. Okay, we're going to go ahead and turn this on low heat because we don't want it to scorch. And I have a rubber whisk because I'm using this with my Teflon pans, so I want it to not ruin my pans. I'll show you a little closer look. It is starting to thicken up as you cook it. The consistency of it as I'm making it is actually reminding me a bit more of like malto-meal. I don't know if you all are familiar with that, but the consistency almost seems to be more like that. Okay, so we got the oatmeal off of the stove. The texture of this kind of oatmeal is definitely not the same as your traditional oatmeal. So hopefully the texture isn't an issue for you. Here's our oatmeal, and we're gonna put our toppings on. We're gonna add some of our toasted almonds on top, some strawberries, maybe the tiniest bit of almond butter, it's keto honey that I have. I'm gonna drizzle a little bit of that on top. It's getting very, very low, so it might take a minute for it to come out. This is just to add a little bit of sweetness. And then, last but not least, I have a teaspoonful of the brown sugar replacement. So there we have it. That's what our bowl of keto oatmeal is looking like. If you have missed oatmeal on a low-carb diet as well, I recommend trying out some of these recipes online and seeing if there's one that you like. Don't mind my half-eaten bowl here, but I also wanted to say that something else I forgot to mention that you could totally do is add some almond milk in with it too. That would definitely help to change the texture of the oatmeal as well. Tablespoon of chia seeds. And a half of a tablespoon of flax. It's calling for whole flax seeds, but I had the ground up kind already, so that's what we're going to use. Okay, so you've seen what I put in there. A cup of pecans, tablespoon of chia seeds, and a half of a tablespoon of the flax meal. Seeds is what it calls for, but I had the actual ground one. So, and then you're going to want to do a whole cup of non-dairy milk, which I am using my unsweetened almond milk. Sorry about the camera angle here, guys. And add that into this as well, and then we're going to go ahead and blend it. Okay, and you can also go ahead and add in some ground cinnamon. Alright, so we have our ground cinnamon in here. I'm going to add a little bit of our brown sugar replacement as well. I'm going to give that a nice shake, and then I'm going to go ahead and get this on the stove to heat it through. Okay, we have our pan that we just rinsed out. I'm going to add this into the pan, and we're going to compare this to the oatmeal that I made previously. Okay, so we have our oatmeal heated through here on the stove. The texture already is looking much better than the previous oatmeal that I made. Little did I know when I started this video I would be making a oatmeal face-off video. Alright, let's go ahead and get this put in a bowl. So, this is what our second thing of oatmeal is looking like. Much different texture than the previous oatmeal that I made. We're going to go ahead and get a little bit of toppings put on this, and I know it sounds like a little bit much to put almonds on it since this is kind of a nut-based oatmeal, but you do not have to add those on if you don't want. I'm just adding a few of the strawberries that we had left over. I'm going to go ahead and add some cinnamon, a lot of cinnamon, and then a little bit of the brown sugar swerve, just to add a little bit more sweetness on here. I also could add some almond milk if I would like. You could add maple sugar-free syrup if you would like. This actually made a decent amount. Probably can't tell by this bowl, so I probably will not eat all of this, but it made more than what I thought it would. So you could cut the recipe in half if you're worried about calories, especially since there's a lot of pecans in this recipe, which can, you know, tend to be pretty calorie dense. So, and then if you want to add a little bit of almond milk on top, you could do that as well. I have this keto honey, that would be really good on top. or syrup. So let's go ahead and give this one a try to see kind of how it tastes compared to the other oatmeal that I had just made. So much better than the last one. I feel like just the texture alone is so much better. Highly recommend the second recipe I just made with you guys that I did not intend to make with you guys. I definitely think this would be good with a little bit of sugar-free syrup on top, just to give it a little extra something, or a little bit of peanut butter. There's so many different things you could do. You could put in sugar-free chocolate, you know, white chocolate or regular chocolate. I know there's so many good varieties out there these days, and then some peanut butter and kind of make it like a chocolate peanut butter oatmeal. I do have to say that making this recipe was so much quicker than the last one too, and called for a whole lot less ingredients. So this one, I can post a link to the recipe below. It says that it's paleo friendly, keto friendly, Whole30 friendly, it's vegan. So yeah, highly recommend this. If you try either of the oatmeal recipes that I made today, go ahead and let me know. Great. Thank you guys again for watching, and have a great day. Bye-bye.